Yo, what's up, Pegglesworth? Bro?
Not much.
Peggy's here.
I assume none of you guys read the lectures, so we can really just talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Well, I mean, it's the book by Turvey, Lectures on Perception. Like the chapters are called lectures.
Well, I've been busy and
I
didn't
mean,
have the
like today,
motivation.
like the lectures today were like supposed to be cool too. You know about logical ops. We're gonna just talk about that basic stuff. Like, and I don't know, Pigglesworth, if you've done some research on that, right? Like, you probably just like know already some of the things that we would talk about.
Rob.
Oh, by the way, I want to talk about this. I was playing a 3D video game and I tilted my head, and the image on the screen, it appeared as if it has not tilted. So it's like I'm still able to see the game as if my head is straight.
But,
I mean, yeah,
well,
it seemed like the game the screen didn't tilt because I was focused on the game.
yeah, like you can still, even if you're on the side, image is still intelligible as if it was straight. That's kind of what you're saying.
No, I'll think I'll type it out in the message.
Oh yeah. Okay. What did you want to talk about again? I mean, I guess we was reading like the first couple lectures, right? So he finally got into that. I don't know. Did you read the first couple lectures? Because that's like I don't remember a conversation at all, to be honest. I'm like my mind is like totally like elsewhere, you know. uh Is it? What topic? Entailment. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I bring it up, you know, but like it's like entailment is, you know, what's this? I think he was just like cheering on Zap News, you know, and they were like, you know, uh, go. I mean, I don't remember. Yeah. Yeah, and you weren't here when we were going about we were talking about what complexity is, you know, like in Rosen's sense of the term, which is where I got that from, the XY stuff, the impredicativity stuff, right? 'Cause, I mean, I don't know how much I sent you to look at it on that video from Turkey, right? Did you watch it? You watched that one. Okay. I thought you were talking about yeah, I thought you were talking about this one. Uh, 'Cause this one he really, he explains, he goes, deeper into, the entailment loop stuff. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know where I should start with that, hold up. Let me put this in VC text. So, I mean, it's like, I forget if Turvey explained it in the lecture you watched. I think maybe he did, but it's basically there's just, there's not enough, it basically algorithmic description or whatever like what I was talking about, right? Like a finite list of predicates or like properties, just like absolute, uh, a priori, fixed and advanced, right? Uh, that's really what it is, right? So I mean, it's fixed in advance. I'm trying to build up these ideas from scratch right now, so you gotta bear with me. Like it's fixed in advance of context, right? It's independent of context, like a machine, its structure is independent of its operation, right? Its structure is not like dependent on the flow of energy through it, you know what I mean? So you can use it in a bunch of different contexts. It's not dependent on context. Like a living organism, right? A part of a living organism is, its very structure is uh formed through the flow of energy through it, right? Constantly flowing through it, you know what I mean? And totally dependent on that. A Newman. Right. Right, but like the problem is, right, it's like you can't capture like real systems, natural systems, right, by this, uh by these context independent, fixed criteria, right? That you've fixed in advance, right? Because real like world processes, right? Natural processes are like dependent on context. You know what I mean? So right, right, right. But uh I'm trying to bring in something else here. Basically, yeah, when we were talking about complexity, in Rosen's sense of the term, right? It's basically there are multiple ways of interacting, multiple distinct ways of interacting with the system, right? Because, it's like any standard of measurement, right, has to be like an objective standard. It has to be like an actual unit of measurement, right, that you pick out and you use to measure and like compare. things. You know what I mean? Right, just like by taking, by being a different system interacting with it. uh, like there's other systems, right? And it's defined in relation to other systems, right? That's basically the point. It's defined like it's properties and behaviors refer to a larger context, right? Uh, to explain its properties and behaviors, to understand them, right? You have to refer to a larger context. Right? You have to include include it in its own relationships to other things, and their distinct uh characteristics, right? You get what I'm saying? Are you kind of following here? So think about it like this. Think about it like this, right? Like a
And
pizza.
predictivity, right?
A pizza. You can cut it up in like columns, or like in a checkered pattern, right? In squares, or you can cut it up in triangles, right? But you can't do each of these different ways, right? Like you can't do it at the same time, right? So that's what we mean by complexity. Like Rosen says that complexity is that there's like an essential semantic component, right? And that's like that's the semantic aspect right there, that there's multiple distinct ways of interacting with it, that and no one way, right? No one way can exhaust it, right? Fully, right? That's like, it would be like, if it could, then you can have a formal description of it, right? That you could fix in it, like an algorithmic description of it, you know what I mean? And exhaust all of its identity.
So it's just all of those are different systems, but they share some context.
Well, no, it's the same. You're including it in its own relationships to other things, right? And there's no other way to identify like its properties and behaviors like of that system, right? Because it's
Okay.
not like, because the other way to do it would be like, I mean, the reductionist view is like you're devolving the properties and behaviors of the system onto the properties and behaviors of its parts, like without any loss of information, right, at all. And then but then you just have an infinite regress, right? Where you're basically saying like parts have causal primacy, right? So what like the parts entail the function of the whole. So what entails the function, like that function that the parts have, right? That they entail the whole, right? Well, it's their parts, and then it's their parts, right?
But yeah, because we observe the whole, right? We kind of like, because I think it was Stratino. It's like you induce these conclusions first, and then you kind of figure out the premises afterwards. And it's like if it doesn't match that. It's like
I don't really
premises.
know if that's the best way to put it. It's not really like, not inferential like that.
I see.
The best way to put
But
it
it's
is
like the systems are like you discover them.
Yeah. I mean,
Which
it's
what I
like
thought he meant by that.
you can go on forever listing the properties of any given thing, anything in front of you, right? You're just because its properties are how it relates to other things. So you just keep relating it, including it in its relationships to other things in order to describe it,
So, I guess let's take the example of like the pointing and cat system, right? It's like I point to a cat on a mat. Is petting the cat on the mat, is that part of the same system?
I mean, what do you mean? Is it part of the same system?
Like you, like
The cat
like I asked.
person system.
Yeah, like I asked if different systems shared like the same context, so it would be like the point cat system. Does that?
Well, here, this is really the point I was trying to make, right?
Mm.
So with the XY thing, right?
Right.
It's going in two directions, right? You can't have one direction without the other, right? But you can't go both directions at the same time because they're not identical, X and Y. You see what I mean? So there's a complexity there. There's a essential semantic component that cannot be removed.
I see. So it's like one of these will always follow the other, but they will never happen at the same time.
It's like
but they will always
you
follow each other
define
in
X.
some
You
way.
can define X in terms of Y, and you can
And Y in
define
terms
Y
of
in
X.
terms of X. Right.
Right. Okay.
And then there's no unentailed terms, right? There's no room for any unentailed terms to be like smuggled in from the outside. So, and then when we get into systems, right? And I explained that, right? I think, yeah, I explained that all, right? how you like what we're talking about. We're trying to explain like a given behavior, right? And see like the behavior is like a necessary consequence of the laws, like of the system, like the invariance laws, the symmetry principles
Right.
that define the system. What I mean by that is just, the closed loops of entailment. And there's a lot of work on this actually, bro. I didn't send you any of this, bro?
You always send me a lot of things. It's overwhelming.
I mean, look at this, bro. Hold on.
What do you mean I have to live it?
No, I'm linking some stuff.
Oh, love it.
Oh, that was me.
This is from like Turvey. He's talking about, predicativity and like all that good stuff. But you really have to see, like, already put in VC text lectures on perception. You really got to see lectures like 1 through 3, where he's really talking about this, right? And especially in lecture 1, he's talking about what I explained to Zapnews, right? About system description, right? And explaining like behavior and how like it'll be like capricious, if you're looking at the wrong scale, right? Because
Yeah,
then you
because
gotta
it seemed like he was
smuggle
kind
in.
of talking past you there, because he was like, because you were saying it's context dependent, and he was like, oh, you mean algorithms? And then it's like, yeah, it's like,
No, I don't think he ever really got what I was trying to say. I mean, like he wasn't
Yeah.
trying to understand what I was saying.
Never seen someone so confident about not understanding something.
He was trying to pigeonhole me, from the beginning.
that's why I said right again award, false dichotomy, yet again.
But yeah, like, there's a lot more nuance to this. Like, if you read lecture 1, at least we could talk about that. I mean, when we read lecture 1, I had a lot to say about it, and I had a lot of things to explain. But when we're working without like any context at all, it's a lot harder.
Yeah, I guess I should read something. So I hear a lot of learning about ecopsych. It's just learning about the alternatives as well. So it could be interesting.
Hey, did you have any more like specific questions?
Let me think.
Or you wanted to discuss some more specific things about, that whole like discussion?
Well, I don't know, because you said there's a whole rabbit hole with these systems that we could go into. I'm kind of curious
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
but like uh, if you would ask less open-ended questions, like if you had any less open-ended questions, that you need help clarifying some specific things, I can help there, probably. No, I don't want to watch the Gabe Newell interviews on VC, bro.
Why not?
I mean, bro, why?
The fuck are you
I don't want to
doing?
watch
There
They're
was a
interesting.
channel.
They're insightful.
And I already said everything I really had to say about the biotech stuff,
I
So,
like his interviews.
Sakura, I mean, you didn't have any more questions?
I'm pretty sure the first conversation we ever had was talking about the brain. Because the typical like, I guess the consensus is typically like, there's a lot of things that are stored inside of the brain. But you take like a different aspect to it and say, well, it's actually just kind of like regulating the, what is it, energy? It's like dissipating energy.
I don't think it's regulating. Like, I mean, it's just another dissipative structure, and a dissipative structure is like I explained before, it's dependent on the flow of energy through it.
And that energy comes from the environment?
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's more like it is the environment. Like the system, right, is like just like a ordered flow of the environment. Like it's like a whirlpool in the middle of a river.
Right. So it's kind
And
of
there's
like
like a lot of there's a lot of
is like
thermodynamics that goes into that. With Swenson. I don't know if I've sent you Swenson's papers before, but he talks all about that. Like, and he explains it. Like like he explains it in those terms, like tornadoes and stuff. Whirlpools and all that.
right. There's like a lot of energy focused into like a tornado, especially in like the sort of like center or the eye of the storm, so to speak.
But yeah, I mean, like you read what I had to say on that, so like the explanation there. I don't know if you would really get anything more than that if you didn't understand like the basics of thermodynamics and like dissipative structure theory, or like non-equilibrium thermodynamics.
Well, yeah. I mean, the only thing I know about thermodynamics is like the first law, which is that energy is it's never like destroyed. It's always ever like redirected.
Never created or destroyed. It only changes form. And really, I like the more positive statements of the first law, which is like the unity of all things or the finitude of the universe. Those are all equivalent statements of the first law. It's like I like to think of it like there's like it's like the universe, right, is not like it's not a zero sum like metaphysics. It's not a nothing, right? Like literally this is actually the contemporary view of like the the universe is that it's a zero sum, right? Like this is like massively like incorrect. The universe is a one, a one, a unity, you know, a positive sum.
Alright. Yeah, I guess I would have to figure out more thermodynamic stuff. But, I mean, yeah, I just, because I do come upon a lot of people who try to say, oh, well, these things, they harm your brain or whatever. Or, you know, this thing is in the brain. And, yeah, ever since you
Yeah, I
told
mean,
me
think about it like
the
this, right? Here's an easy way to. I mean, they like to say like to localize function in parts, right? And it's like there's the huge error there, you know, because they'll say like, oh, like we destroy this part of the brain or whatever, and then like can't do the thing anymore, right? We can't do this behavior anymore after we destroy this part of the brain, but attributing that function to the brain already assumes like that part of the brain already assumes that that function was isolated in that part. But really, think about it. Think about this, right? Where did you get the function? How did you get the function that you attributed to that part? Did you find it in the brain? Did you look at the brain and you found it there?
Yeah.
No, you got it from the whole system, the whole organism acting in its environment, right?
Well, yeah, because
And
it's
then
like,
you took that and then you attributed it to something that is totally incommensurable with it, really. Like in you know, in number and like in grain size and like in type like of descriptors is totally just incommensurate. It's not the environment, you know what I mean? It's not the eventful environment where like, you know, behavior is happening.
I mean, yeah, it is the correlation causation fallacy. It's literally like, you know, looking at the Microsoft Edge stocks and murder, and it's like, oh, look at that.
Yeah, but it's a
the
loan.
less
It's a loan,
stocks.
right? It's a non-repayable loan, right? It's a begging. It's a petitio principi. I think that's how you say it, right? Petitio principi.
Just means
Do you know
begging a
that?
question. Like, here.
Yeah.
This happens here. Oh, how do you justify that? Well, when something happens outside of it, there's activity there, so I guess that means it causes it. It's kind of all that they say about the brain.
Yeah, but they're stealing it, right? They're stealing it from like you know, the context or whatever, and then they're saying, oh, it's context independent, and they're assuming that, oh, the function is context independent, that it's like isolated in this part already. You know what I mean? But when they got the function only from the context, and you can't get it without the context.
It's like I was arguing with French earlier. He says there's no way around the neurological fact that blank lowers the overall pleasure one can experience. And it's like, how do you know that fact? What did you look at to get that fact that, oh, this neurological fact that doing X actually hinders the amount of pleasure you can feel as an individual, as like a whole? It's like, I don't really get it.
I mean, we don't. Could also be that the wrong language and the wrong pointing to what the like right lever or the right degrees of freedom are, but doesn't mean that it's completely wrong. And you just need to more of the system.
I mean, you're good. Like Turvey says in lecture 1, right? If you're looking at like, you know, things, right? You don't have a system with enough entailment, right? You like if you're only looking at the Earth when you're supposed to be looking at the Earth, water, sun, moon system, right? To explain the tides, then you're gonna, you know, attribute it to like the breath of a god or whatever, right? An all-powerful god, right? That's how you explain the tides. You bring in some magical, unentailed, you know, extra physical, you know, term, right? Because you don't have all the terms. It's not, you know, there's not a closed loop of entailment, right? You need all this unentailed stuff, right, in order to account for the behavior you're trying to explain, right? But where did you get it? Where did you actually get it, right? because it's unentailed by what you already have, right? It's unentailed by what you already have in the system, right? You have to bring it inside. Then you're just assuming the answer is outside. The answer is not the system you've identified. You've identified the wrong system.
So there's kind of like systems that
But
are
like
just more
that's really it, right? Like
complicated
you're looking at the
than.
brain. You're looking at the brain. So you have to invent all these magical like corrective like mechanisms, that the brain does to fix the impoverished like information that the brain gets.
So okay. So it's like there's more complex systems than simply just like pointing at a cat, and it's like there's more that you need to analyze there before you can really understand the system.
Yeah. And that's where, thermodynamics comes in, it's various, like all the various like tools, right? Or uh like all the various like explanatory tools, these concepts like entropy and energy and like all the various thermodynamic terms, right, to explain, you know, processes, right? And because like the laws of thermodynamics are scale invariant, right? But they have scale specific consequences, scale specific, you know, consequences for like the morphologies of like things, right? Like the forms of objects, right? That arise at that scale, right? But they apply at each scale in a scale invariant way. There's a good. Am I sharing my screen? No, I'm not sharing my screen. Are you looking at my screen, bro?
No, you're not sharing
You
it.
see my screen?
You're not sure.
You see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
What lecture was it? I think it was. Mm, Here we go. Like this, right? Instead of this, right, where it's reduction of forms of a more fundamental or privileged level, and then you get just like, the world of forms, uh, or Locke's like substrata, right? Uh, fucking the thing that's the basis of all properties, but that doesn't have any properties, But this is the difference, right? The laws of thermodynamics are scale invariant with scale specific consequences, like the different scales of like uh like the atomic scale, the quantum scale, like uh the cosmological scale, like the scale of like uh the cosmic web, the scale of just like macroscopic objects, right? There's like a bunch of different scales of things. You know what I mean? But the laws of thermodynamics apply across all scales, right? So you can understand like the up down processes between the scales, right? So you're
Um,
not like in a flat land like physics, You have uh multiple scales, right? Because reality is not there's no privileged scale.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't. What is the graph trying to explain? Is it like the transfer of energy?
A common
that's trying
set
to
of
hit?
physical strategies, no privilege level specific phenomena, regularities, you know, morphologies.
I don't think that clarified it.
Yeah, I'm so
That's what the
confused.
graph is saying, bro. I just read it.
Strategic reductionism, a common set
Like-
of physical strategies, no privilege level specific.
But that's
phenomena.
I'm saying this is what the laws of thermodynamics, like, this is the best way to understand scale invariance with
So
scale
that's
specific consequences.
visualize.
Scale
Arrow.
invariant.
Arrows are the
yeah.
laws of thermodynamics, saying that it applies at every scale, but how it applies differs every scale.
Right. You know, with
Okay.
the particular measurements and stuff, right? Like the particular object you're talking about.
Okay.
But thermodynamics allows us with all these, you know, highly like explanatory concepts, right? Like entropy and energy, namely, right? But also all the other concepts in thermodynamics. We can explain a lot of things. We explain things without any unentailed terms, right? With closed loops of entail.
And so it's like whenever you draw like a conclusion based off of just what you're seeing in the brain, it's like it's kind of that conclusion's kind of like unentailed.
Yeah, and we can see that, you know, it would imply a violation of the laws of thermodynamics. Like, you're not looking at the, you know, right system. You've got energy appearing out of nowhere, you know, work being, you know, produced from nothing, right? You've got a bunch of magic, you know? It's very easy to see that you have all this magic, right, when you just try to apply, you know, thermodynamics to it. Like, it really helps you get, you know, the appropriate scale.
I mean, I don't know. Whenever somebody like throws a study at me about the brain, it's usually like something destroys brain matter or something, and it's like, oh yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah, it's just full of, you know, fallacies and like based on a bunch of, you know, like they're like they create these problems for themselves, right, with the premises, like dualism, right, like a bunch of like the consequences of dualism, right? And I don't want to get into all that. But there's a lot that you'll see, you know, when you read into ecopsych about that.
I think I read about.
Have you
I
even
think
read,
I
like, you've
saw a
read
video.
Introduction to Ecopsych?
I saw a video about it. Can't remember who linked the channel, but
Introduction to Ecopsych.
basically dualism is like kind of divorcing organism and environment and perception
Yeah.
and action into two
So the brain and body,
instead of-
all often comes back.
yeah.
Right.
So it's like you're
Like the
too
brain
busy
is the
looking at the
unmoved
brain,
mover.
but you haven't.
Yeah, the
you
brain
haven't
is the unmoved
actually-
mover, and then now it's like some like part of the brain that's like the unmoved mover. You know, and Turvey talks about this. You know, when you prohibit self causation, right? You're gonna need like an unmoved mover. You know, and an unmoved mover is a violation of the second law of thermodynamics.
I don't actually know the second law. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean that's why I'm not really gonna explain it. You said you didn't like know anything about that, so then I'd have to explain like the whole thing. There's a lot that goes into that.
I mean, the laws of thermodynamics are already pretty commonly agreed upon by most people, right? Like, you might
Well,
have a
it's not
different
just
explanation or
Yeah,
other
I mean,
things,
if
it's
but
someone can disprove them. I mean, that person deserves to have all the money in the world. Like, that's-
like, bro, they are literally like the laws of all laws of physics. You know, if
it's like, yeah,
like
it's like nobody denies them,
like
but nobody
there's this
ever includes them
fucking quote.
ever.
There's this quote by Prigozhin, who's like a very influential like physicist, right? Thermodynamics. He really pushed like non-equilibrium thermodynamics, to you know to where it's at now, you know.
Hmm.
But basically, there's this quote by him, right? Like, something like, you know, who cares, right? If you violate like, this, physicist law of whatever XYZ, like like that's whatever, if you violate the fucking laws of like the first law of thermodynamics or the second law of thermodynamics, like
Done
you're
something
just,
insane.
yeah, you're just fucking insane, bro. You're a crazy person that should be treated like a fucking crazy person. Like you're the fucking, mystic, like rambling on the fucking, the corner.
The first law of
The heroin
thermodynamics, it was
addict,
created
the
by the deep
schizophrenic.
state.
The
Yeah.
Jews.
That exactly, right? So, I mean,
Oh,
you can. I mean, there's probably a bunch of papers on this. I know there's a bunch of papers on this, on like like how fundamental like the laws of thermodynamics are, you know, in science, in physics,
Right.
I mean, Swenson, he talks a lot about that too, especially in his newest papers, like, the 2025 paper, 2024 paper.
when I was a kid, I was trying to create a perpetual motion engine.
These
Did it
Swenson,
work?
these are Swenson's papers in VC text. That's really like where I'd recommend starting with like the thermodynamic stuff.
What about perpetual machines? Like the hardest part is hiding the battery or something.
No, I was genuinely convinced that I can do it.
I mean, literally, bro, if you if you have a perpetual motion machine, I mean, literally, you do not have a universe, bro. You just don't have anything. It's just very, very like, it'd be beyond disastrous, right? It would be beyond disastrous if the fucking laws of thermodynamics could be violated.
Well, I mean, what are they called? Newton's cradle? How do those work?
What?
Is it Newton's cradle? I forget what it. Like those things. Like people always have them on their desk. It's like you have these line of balls on a string.
It stops eventually.
And no, it doesn't. It never stops. What?
I mean,
It
I
does
have
stop
that
at some
thing
point?
at home. It does stop, bro. It does stop, man.
It does stop? What? Dude, I've seen those things go for
I have that
hours.
thing. It stops, bro. No, they stop.
Dude, I gotta get one then. I gotta see. Dude, I didn't know they
They-
stopped.
they
I
don't
thought they
demonstrate,
literally went
like-
off forever.
They demonstrate the transfer of energy, bro.
Well, yeah, I figured maybe it would just like transfer back and forth endlessly, and that's
What's
like
up,
how it
Wiz?
works.
I mean, it has to resist air.
Whiz.
Nobody read the fucking lecture, bro.
I mean, it is like fucking 30 lectures, so.
Bro, it's like ecological
Gotta
optics.
catch
We
up.
were
Yeah.
gonna talk about ecological optics.
I mean, is that like the most important? Is that like the first one you'd recommend reading? Is Lessons on Perception?
It's what I read
Probably
first,
not.
but like probably
See.
not.
We read the introductory book before, and it made sense. But the funny thing is that we're finally starting to talk more. Well, the book, I haven't read it, but a lot of people wanted to finally get to the ecological approach. We're there, and everybody fucking bailed.
Right? This shit's crazy, bro.
I mean, I
We're
kind
finally
of said
here,
that would
bro. We're
happen.
gonna talk about like a bunch of cool stuff, and then like nobody shows up. Nobody reads it.
I read it one day, but I really want to get through some of Nathaniel Brennan's stuff right about now, for personal reasons.
Bro, just come on, guys. You guys can do this, bro. Read lecture 21 and 23, and then we can talk about it tomorrow. Because it's not long, bro. It's not like crazy, bro.
Like, should I skip?
It's like,
Should I skip to it, or should I?
yeah, just skip to it, bro. You don't have to understand like everything it's saying, because we'll fucking talk about it, right? Just so we have something to talk about.
All right.
So I'm not just sitting here like fucking trying to get you to understand what I'm talking about when you don't even have this context.
You have to give us all the context.
But it's just like, it's just introducing you to like, you know, the physics of light required for, you know, ecological optics, right? Basically, like ecological optics, you know, basic stuff, bro. But it's like very interesting stuff. And this is also some really great arguments against like, you know, arguments from illusion in lecture 23.
What, that the things that we can think up are real?
What?
What does illusion mean in this case?
Like
Is it just-
like it's the argument from illusion, right? That like you know, perception can be wrong,
Oh, okay. I see.
right? But this is like arguing against that. Like way better
Turby's pretty
than
good on it.
fucking yeah, really Turby's the best on it.
Just like, what the fuck do you expect this stick in the water to look like if water is reflective? It's kind of funny. You can see that he wanted to be have more sass than he did, but he was like, I gotta be professional.
Does he does Turvey talk about Descartes' demon at all?
What? Descartes' demon?
Yeah, because that's like a different argument from illusion. It's basically there's like a demon that is deceiving you. It's deceiving like pretty much everything that you see, everything that you feel is like, it's all, your whole world is being
Well, that's just
by that demon.
like that's like you get that, you know, you're subject to that kind of fucking argument when you have a dualism. When you start with a dualism, like Descartes.
Yeah, because like the whole Cartesian view of perception is
I mean,
thrown out the window way
Swenson really
earlier.
goes in on Descartes.
Like those, when you kind of and that's I think the good part of reading about what were actually the beliefs and the assumptions of perceptions from Descartes, from Kant, is like you start to understand, oh, that's how Hume came into play. Oh, that's where those arguments actually work. And when you understand how the ecological approach differs from them, you're like, oh, those don't work. You start to understand and be able to kind of articulate against them way better than like Rand and Peikoff ever could.
I'll be right back. I gotta get some water.
I was thinking about maybe, probably not, but trying to make a video on Hume's guillotine and kind of explain what the argument actually presupposes perception to be.
I feel like I wrote something about Hume's guillotine.
Well, I mean, it's trying to, you gotta understand kind of the ontology that he's assuming, and that perception to him is completely meaningless, right? There's nothing about it. That's why he's saying that there's no normativity of any kind, because that would be meaning, when it's all just like mathematical syntax and results and encoded laws. So, but even that, like that couldn't get you even the perception that we do have. Like, it's completely bankrupt as a theory. But understanding how that is and how the ecological approach differs, you're really able to see
there's
that
a number of
Hume's
different
guillotine
ways.
is stupid.
Yeah, there's a number of different ways you can fucking shit on the guillotine. I mean, because I know.
I mean, you'll see Binswanger. He has a fucking one of his HBTV videos. He's like, Gibson's concept of affordances is demolishes Hume's guillotine.
Yep.
He literally appeals to Gibson's concept of affordances to demolish it.
Because, yeah, I mean, there's so many different ways. Like, I think Zulu showed me Companions in Guilt. And then...
But really,
but I think
I
the
would
Companions
just
in Guild's
say
not great.
we're not trying to get meaning out of a meaningless world, right?
Yeah.
The Companion Guild, the thing is, the normative claim in epistemology that was trying to frame guillotines as, sure, it kind of works, but if you understand the ontology that Hume's proposing, the fact that there's no meaning at all, then you're kind of just left with no meaning. Like, the alternative is not either you have norms or you don't have Hume's guillotine. You might just have no meaning at all, and nothing is understandable, and we're all just guessing, right? It's the skepticism, you're left with that.
I mean, you'll see ecological psychology people say all the time that what a thing is and what a thing means is one and the same, right? The thing is what it means and means what it is, and that's like a requirement of direct perception.
And that's precisely what I guess couldn't find or wanted to take out. I guess
why is this
couldn't.
video so hard to fucking search for, bro?
What is it? What's hard to search for?
Because all his other videos on fucking Gibson show up except this for some reason. Here we go. Affordances, J.J. Gibson's new concept, where he talks about the gap, but he doesn't really understand it. I don't think.
No, I don't think Gibson's
not enough, not sufficient enough. Because if he did,
Binswanger is
like,
showing an
it would be much
inference.
more.
There's so many
It would be much
fucking
stronger.
objectivists that just don't care.
Yeah, but I would recommend. I would recommend reading these, especially. These are like fucking really, 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 really good. Like on meaning. like like totally eschewing that gap. And also, Swenson's newest papers. So like these are like, yeah, these are like really like up there on my list, like my favorite papers. And these are really like the same paper. It's part of the same issue. So it's like one paper. Man, trying to remember. Here we go. Yeah, this is all part of the same issue. Like, just like open them and look, like just skim like get a look at them, bro. See like how like important the stuff that it talks about is. I mean, it's like very easy to grasp too. I think very well like written, these papers. Yeah, if you read all these papers right here, you'll level up like crazy, bro, and be able to understand a bunch more shit. Like in lectures of perception, because it's kind of hard to understand this shit. If you read these papers specifically, you will understand so much more shit, bro, and have like so much more shit under your belt, bro, to like combat a bunch of like stupid people. These papers right here, bro. Just look at this shit, bro.
Alright, so you supplement lectures on perception with these papers. That's what I'll do.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be like a lot of this stuff, like Full Tilt, especially. He's like what he's talking about. All of this stuff here, Corello and Full Tilt, right? They're bringing all this stuff from Turvey, right? But they're saying what Turvey would be saying in his, like lectures he gives to people, as a professor, right? They're like the way they put it, like they condensed it really, really well, and really like what's it called, really digestible, in a really digestible way.
Alright.
I really like these papers. Isn't it cool?
There's so many symbols. In
Like
them.
you don't really often see, a bunch of like other ecological psychologists, really really grasping like Turvey's, like essential like the like essential things that Turvey like stresses, like the basic things, uh and like integrates it well. And these papers integrate it really, really well. Yeah. And you'll feel it, bro, when you're reading this shit. Like when you start reading this shit, you'll get hooked in, bro. You know, you'll start feeling like, yeah, like you're leveling up. I don't know. There's you won't find shit like this anywhere else, bro. You know, objectivism is like it's good on some things, but it just does. It's like it just doesn't get where psychology does. You know,
It doesn't get deep enough.
it doesn't get deep enough, right? Man, that's fine. It does what uh like it fills its purpose. You know. You shouldn't try and make objectivism do what ecological psychology does. You know, 'cause objectivism is like philosophy, but still, you should. Obviously, philosophy is informed by like special sciences, and like special sciences are informed by philosophy.
Right.
And if you're incorrect about some things like perception, right, which is like the basis of epistemology, really important. You know, you should correct yourself, which a lot of objectivists have, right? To their credit, right? Like a lot of, I mean, I actually, I think that's just, you know, like the actual objectivist scholars or whatever, not just people on the peripheral or whatever who are just like reading, like who've read Opar, right? Like people like Ben Bayer, like Binswanger, David Kelly, Gregory Salmieri, right? What's his name? All these other people, like like this group of scholars, objective scholars I'm talking about, right? They've all accepted Gibson, right, and said that Rand was wrong on perception, Peikoff was wrong on perception, and that Gibson was right. Every single one of them said this. So anybody who's saying like objectivism is not fucking compatible with epistemology, they're like, I mean, they're way behind.
I thought you said Peikoff kind of like indirectly said that.
Oh yeah, and Peikoff too.
Very important for.
Peikoff too said. Peikoff too. I don't remember exactly like where. I think it was on like his podcast thing, But he himself admitted that he was wrong about perception, right? With all these Gibsonians coming.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Like very modern Peikoff, very recent.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's why I didn't know.
Damn, all these closed objectivists, they better start getting on Gibson. They're gonna be outdated.
I mean, I mean, they are. That's what's interesting, right?
Yeah.
They're closed objectivists in one respect, but like, I mean, they just say it's not objectivism, right? You know what I mean? They just like say any of their like innovations or whatever, their research or whatever, like whatever connections they make, it's just not like, it's just their own thing. It's not objectivism.
Oh yeah, they just say objectivism's like a proper noun or something. It's like, what does that even mean?
I think that's one of the stupidest arguments I've ever heard. I can't lie to you.
I was Divinity that said it. It was like
okay, so then I'll just say that I'm using objectivism not as a proper noun, so we no longer have a problem, right?
Man, I wish fucking Stratino was in here.
They still have
Then we could really shit on Divinity.
You wish what? Who was here?
I wish Stratino was in here.
I mean,
then we could really shit on
Dude, Stratino's got a vendetta on Divinity, bro. It's... He says he's not super confident in VC debates, dude. I can make him a fairly confident conversation.
He's just so fucking sad, like, like fucking Eduardo and like all these other people. They got like, I don't know how. Like, I mean, I guess I do because they're fucking like rationalists, right? And I mean, I wasn't really like involved with all of them, like and like Stratino was, so he talked about like how he saw like all the like signs and stuff, you know.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, I thought
And then
what
they
he
just
said
got
about like them trying to rationalize it off hypotheticals instead of just like, I don't know, kind of just being like, well, what relevance do these hypotheticals really have? I think is a good point.
I mean, ethics of emergency, we're like, okay, well, you can aggress and all that. It would be good to do so.
and they don't know what the
Or
fuck
it's
they're talking about.
always
They don't know
Yeah,
what,
and then Stratino's
what the
like,
fuck.
yeah, because it's like you're trying to rationalize out of these emergency scenarios, and it's like, dude, just be like, these emergency scenarios are retarded. They have no, there's no relevance to, it's no relevance to
No,
your
I mean
life.
emergency is a valuable concept, right? And I've talked about this so fucking many times, bro. Like they just don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
yeah, they're always. I think
Well,
Like
yeah,
they
but the
literally appeal
hypothetical,
to it in the exact like wrong way, you know? Because it's just emergency literally means there's no choice. Like you just have no choice. There's no more like uh,
yeah,
there's nothing to evaluate. There's just no choice, right? But they're trying to appeal to emergency. Like I'm gonna evaluate blah blah, blah this over this whatever, and also their whole fucking standard is like not like totally fucked up.
yeah, I mean, they're
I
always
have a bunch
assuming
of
like,
notes.
okay,
Kind of standard?
either you aggress or you die, and it's like, okay, how do you know that? By what standard
And it's
do
not
you
even that.
even
yeah.
like?
Stratino
Oh no,
basically said,
it's not
as soon as
just
you're in
man,
that
it's not only man.
situation, you are dead already. You're already dead. Like,
Right.
there's
I mean, like
no
I've
morality
explained
left
this,
to
right?
choose.
Emergency is like, you know, it's resolved. It's something that's resolved completely by, you know, conditions like outside of your control. You know,
Yeah.
it's like you're trapped under a bunch of rubble in a fucking like after an earthquake. You know, you just have to wait for the situation to resolve itself one way or another. Like, I mean, you might die. Like that might be the resolution of the fucking situation, but it's not in your control, right? And that's literally what it is. That's it. That's all that an emergency is.
Yeah, because
I mean, so it's literally directly like contrary to what they're using it for. Yeah, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're fucking like, oh, bro, they're such like posers, bro. They're retards.
dude, this can I get the whole quote in here? It's really long.
But I don't know if you've seen in VC text. There's like a thread, I think, in VC text, or no? Where's the thread? Is it in general?
I need to make the text smaller so that I can get the whole quote. But Stratino was talking to me about this very thing in the another server, and he's very, very, very passionate about this.
Yeah, he got it from me. I know he got it from me. I don't know where the fuck it is, bro. Do you know where the fuck it is, Eddie?
The
The
what?
channel.
Sorry, my dad was talking to me. I gotta go outside.
Uh,
Oh, here we go.
let me see. It's like it's a thread. It's a thread just called 8. I forgot where it is.
Called 8.
It's just called H.
Oh, I don't know. That doesn't ring any bell.
Dude, the text on my Discord is just way too much. There we go. Because he had this conversation with me in a different server, and I think it's important that I screenshot it because it's very, like, he's very passionate about this.
Yeah, this is all from me. All of this is from me. Yeah. He got all of this from me. And like anybody who you see in like the Zulu community arguing like along these lines, they got it from me. Cause like I came in like around the time they started uh like talking about all their bullshit, right? Like when like right before Zulu debated Eduardo,
Eduardo.
right?
Yeah.
Like you can see in the video, right? In the video like responding to like critics of objectivism or something, right? Zulu's video, right? You could see he shouts me out, right, for the
Yeah.
arguments, you know?
Which is very cool, by the way. Congratulations.
And like a bunch of people told me how like that's like really helped their, you know, it helped them in like their daily life even. I just thought it was like obvious.
Humble brag.
I was like, bro, these guys are fucking stupid. You know, I wasn't even into ethics really at that point. I was just like, I was the only one who was into epistemology. And also, you know, anybody who fucking knows anything about epistemology in the Zulu community, they got that shit from me too, bro. Because, I mean, they wouldn't be anywhere in like, they'd all be fucking rationalists without me, bro. Without me, bro. I saved the fucking whole movement, bro. You know? Like you weren't there, bro. You don't know what I'm talking about, bro. But I literally saved like the whole fucking movement, bro. That shit was gonna fracture and like fragment like in a bunch of different ways. But I was like, I just came in and I was like, bro, what the fuck? Read fucking epistemology, bro. Like, learn epistemology.
Did that
That's all I was
video
saying.
that you were included in, did that come after the Eduardo debate?
Do you remember this? Were you there?
I was not there, but I remember Eduardo came in and he was bragging. He's like, yeah, bro, I disproved in that, bro. You should check out my debate with Zulu, bro.
I disproved that, bro.
Dude, his name in Zulu court is Nap the Bunker.
Oh man, like I don't know, bro. I don't know where they would be right now without me, bro. But because of me, they're outliers, right? Literally because of me, they're outliers. Like their whole arguments are seen like as like stupid and just dismissed.
Well,
You know?
yeah, because Divinity is kind of like the new challenger. He's like the next bringer of the end times, so to speak.
I mean, I've read a little bit of it.
Bro,
and it's
really,
so
bro.
bad.
If Divinity is a fucking threat, bro, like, oh man. Oh
Yeah, it says
man.
more about.
Who's Divinity?
You have some serious
here.
work to do, bro. Just for
Yeah,
yourself, bro.
'cause
Like
he was
you
trying
are
to-
so like you are so like unequipped, you know, to be even like a fucking intellectual. If fucking Divinity is a threat, that shit is crazy.
Yeah, because he debated Divinity debated Zetetic, and unfortunately, Zetetic was
If fucking
Impaired.
Zetetic is like slow, bro. Like so fucking slow, bro. It's crazy.
he was also incredibly impaired. He was like very tired.
Bro, he was a flat earther, bro. You know?
Zetetic? No way, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a fucking flat earther, bro. for, like,
I don't know if
the
he's still a
longest, bro.
gravity denier.
No, he's not. Like he fucking like also Zetetic would still be a fucking flat earther without me, bro. Because I fucking like I feel like all of the fucking me just telling him how stupid like he was on epistemology and making him get smarter made him check his own premises. You know? I feel like that's really what happened.
I gotta go help my dad.
Later.
You didn't know
Yeah,
Zetetic was
actually.
a flat earther, bro. That's crazy.
No,
he
I
was a
didn't.
flat
He's
earther. He
not-
denied
he's not one
gravity.
anymore. No anymore.
Gravity. He
Yeah,
was
he was for the longest, bro.
electromagnetism.
That was the
I'll make
craziest
sure
shit.
to bully him for that.
Bro, you can see it. Look in the chat in Zulu server, you know? Fucking he would argue for hours and hours and hours about bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
I think I debated him once on that.
Oh,
See
bro.
y'all later.
Bye, Eddie.
He still has like traces of, you know, just like all of that. Like you, if you're like a, you know, trapped in like cycle of like evasion for so long, you know, you're that shit is gonna linger for a while, bro. So you know, he still has some like issues.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, I wanted to. I did want to debate Liam for Divinity or whatever, because I saw, because it was Tritino that showed me the fucking clip of Liam being like, "Oh yeah, dude, Roombas are like a primitive form of life," and I was just like, "Dude, this guy's
And you
fucking
fucking got that from me too, bro. Stratino got that from me too. I told him about that. I was like, bro, what the fuck is this? Like, did he tell you?
Where's
Did he
this
tell you he
Jiminy?
was being like a fucking rationalist, trying to deduce the particulars, like from the concept, like from the not even the concept, the definition that
Yeah, he
that
told me
Rand
later
did.
on, yeah.
Yeah, that's for me too. That's
'Cause
crazy,
that's when he
bro.
told
But
me that we
like,
kind of
like
like.
it's crazy how I say. I wonder how many things I say, right? And then just like somebody like Stratino will like pick it up, you know, and start saying it like over and over again. Like I don't have to debate these people. I don't have to debate Liam and all these people, right? Fucking Stratino's doing it for me. Like he's taking my arguments and like just you know, debating them with it. That's crazy, bro. I'm not even in these servers, so I can't even see.
Yeah.
But I wonder how far my influence has spread, bro. You know, and it makes
It spreads in my university.
It spread a little bit to Zulu Court. I feel like people are starting to wake up.
have you guys just ever been like, you know, surprised by like a G reference? You know, like.
Yeah, because I think there's another rift kind of growing. I think because
I'm
I
not
don't know
in
if
all these
Stratino
servers.
got this from
A bunch of
you.
other people are in, but
I
I
don't know if
bet like
Stratino
my
got this from
arguments
you
and
as
stuff.
well, because
Yeah.
he said, like, you know, look at how Zulu used to debate people. He used to be very like hands-on, very not aggressive but confrontational, and now he's kind of more passive, like especially with the Dave Smith debate and that debate he just had like a couple of days ago. Like he's way passive.
Did he have a
Looks like
debate?
he
A
used to
couple
be more
days?
confident. Yeah, it was about abortion with Winograd, the Christian libertarian guy.
Oh man, I watched like 20 minutes of it, and then I fucking told like I don't know if you saw on the vids channel like in Zulu server. I like uh I pointed out like a slip of the tongue from Winograd that was pretty funny, and then we had like a whole like discussion about it.
But yeah, people, because after that debate, I think it was like Gameaholics and like a bunch of other people were like, dude, like look at this debate that Zulu had with Winograd like years ago, and look at how confrontational he is with him compared to now, and it's like a night and day difference. And yeah, Stratino basically said like, yeah, he's just like, it's selling out your principles for, you know, connections.
Did he say anything about like the fucking remnant podcast or whatever that we just had? Like I was fucking arguing with them.
Did Stratino say anything about? I don't know. I mean, Stratino's not in Zulu Cohort. I think he said it in your server.
No, because we were talking about that.
Gameaholics just
Like,
relayed it.
No, because we were talking about that. Like Zulu was fucking, you know, like dropping his principles, like really, like obviously there.
Yeah, it's just mainly like he's not giving as much pushback. He's not being more aggressive. He's just like if you looked at the clip of like his old debate with Winograd, you would see like Zulu just immediately shuts down his bullshit because they're talking about like collective ownership and how it doesn't exist. And Winograd's like, oh well, if my wife and I are talking about how to paint the walls on our house, we can just agree. And Zulu's like, okay, but that's if they agree. And it's like, you need to tell me what happens if you guys disagree. And he's like being very confrontational. And then
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, you know, I haven't watched the debate.
it's not in the most recent debate, but yeah, the most recent debate with Winograd is just very like.
No, I've watched, I probably watched that one, but I haven't watched this one, the most recent one. I didn't watch it all the way through.
Like it's almost like
What server is
Zulu's
this,
trying to convert Dave Smith, and it's like he can't really do that.
What server is this in?
Oh, that's the super secret server. That's the libertarian Kabbalah cult.
Oh, where I'm not allowed.
What?
Yeah, you're not allowed. Zulu's not allowed. Mentis Wave. A lot of the
Why am I not allowed?
I don't know. Fucking.
Do
go
they
after
talk
me.
shit about me?
We call you autistic sometimes.
Hey, you guys?
What
do you mean we?
Autistic. Because I was asking Stratino, I was like, yeah, man, like I get that like G probably has like the right ideas and all that, but man, he's just really hard to understand sometimes. It's like, yeah, he's just extremely autistic, and Eddie's kind of like his translator at this point, but like he's got the right ideas.
Yeah, they didn't mean it like derogatory, you know.
No. But yeah, we talk about shit about Zulu and Mentis.
I mean, it's just because, like, I talked about this a lot of times. There's a lot of reasons why it might be hard for me to explain things, you know. I mean, it's just like it's hard. I'm not good at like, yeah, I'm getting better at it, but like I'm not that good at explaining. It's just a lot easier for me, you know, when like we're doing like a book club and then like we have something to talk about, right? Like instead of just me riffing like on trying to, you know, establish a whole like context to understand something, because it's not philosophy, you know. None of it is philosophy. I mean, some of it is, but it's not like it's more, you know, particular than that, right? Like we have to know all these other things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like philosophy is a lot easier to explain and talk about.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot as well, because I have to explain some of these ecological things all the time to people who don't know anything about it.
Yeah, and that's why like Rosen and like Swenson is really useful, you know, like understanding, you know, the laws of thermodynamics, and like also like the logic of complexity, or you know, like just like the entailment stuff, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's Rosen, right? The logic of complexity, like that's how I would describe like his contribution, right? That stuff really helps with integration, right? That's like I'm getting better. That's why I think I'm getting better at explaining things, you know, because I'm able to integrate it all with using like the laws of thermodynamics and like, you know, what Rosen talks about.
I mean, I know you probably understand G perfectly, but like, I don't know.
And I'm still
I mean, I
working
guess
on
there's
it.
always somebody.
I'm like writing about this. You know, I'm writing about it. So you know, uh, who just joined? Jeffersonian. Jeffersonian.
Someone joined. Yeah, no,
Yeah, but
I mean, those
that,
secret
like,
that secret server
that's
is
why
really
I'm writing
big,
about it.
so it's not really that big of a deal. Because it's pretty much just Liberalissimo's fucking book club. That's pretty much what it's used for nowadays. Because they got rid of his book club in Mentiscord because Mentiscord's fucking retarded. So he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna use this server as my book club. So that's pretty much what it is. But I mean, people do talk
Yeah,
about
like
it occasionally.
some of this is like literally quoted, like word for word from me, bro.
Yeah, because I did have a conversation with Divinity. I even recorded it. It's on my channel, but the thing that I was bringing up to Stratino was like a hypothetical Divinity gave me, and he was like, so imagine you're kidnapped by like Jigsaw or like some like kidnapper guy, right? And you're put in like his battle royale, and it's just you and
Did he
one
say
other
that?
guy. Divinity, yeah. He was like, there's only you and one other guy in this room, and Jigsaw's like, hey, you guys have to kill each other, Survivor gets to go free. And then, you know, it's like, oh, well, you know, it's not wrong to kill the guy, it's like an amoral act. It's like, it's not your fault, or whatever the fuck.
Oh, bro, I'm trying to find this. Hold up, because I have answers to that too. You know. Yeah, we were talking about this, right? The hostage stuff here. Here we go. Yeah, see. This is the thread. These are all the docs that like I made like a year ago. It is in VC text, bro. There we go. I thought I couldn't find it. But this thread here, you just search up hostage and then you should find it. But is basically these are all like the notes that I had like back then, you know, that was like you know, against this whole influx of like stuff from Eduardo and Divinity and you know Sue, right? Like a year ago when they started with their bullshit. Like eventually I'll integrate it into like a book on ethics, right? Like a book on moral reasoning, you know. But I still have a lot of things I'm working on. This is where he's getting all that from. Okay. Yeah, and the hostage one. We also talk about the hostage one here. Like I explain it like pretty well.
Dude, this fucking screenshot literally shows Zulu accepting the no ought nots, but he still fucking uses it.
Yeah, I know.
Because that was another thing that Stratino said. He said it to fucking Voyant.
He-
He was
he
like,
didn't get the
there
whole
are no negatives in libertarianism. Like it's
Right, here
negative,
here I
you can
even
only be in
explain.
positive.
I explained the emergency thing, right? I explained that here, and like Ziggy was asking questions about it, so you know, I like condensed an explanation of like the hostage thing, right? How like if you're surrendering your will to the aggressor, right, then you're adopting their will, you know, you're becoming an aggressor. Like, and I explained that this thread here at Uzulus.
Yeah, because I get the idea of the like hostage choice, and I'm assuming it would be the same thing if you're under duress, right? It's like somebody points a gun to you and tells you to go kill somebody. Like it would be.
Yeah, I explain it all here. I explain it very like cogently here.
I mean, I'm pretty sure
trying to do that.
Stratino's already told me everything you think about this. 'Cause he's but
Yeah, right
basically,
here.
it's like it degrades your life as like a whole, because it's like it's about the
Yeah, I have
integrated
there's a
life.
lot of stuff on that in the thread, like in the H thread, you know.
Yeah.
Like I go really deep into that, but I would say a lot different. I would say I would explain it a lot differently now, like a year later. You know, I think I would explain it a lot better. But like, I don't know. I'm not gonna get around to it anytime soon. But now I would like, luckily, right? Like I did, you know, put all this out back then, right? Because then now I can, explain it a lot better, right?
Because there
I
was another thing
integrated it
Stratino
more.
said, which is that like death is not really a valid concept.
Right. That's from me too. It's from
It's
this
more
one.
like dissipation.
And you'll see like fuck the fucking da, 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 da. G, where's this thread? Because I explained that, like I had so many arguments on that. And Pegglesworth, is Pegglesworth still here? Yeah, you were there. You remember that?
Yeah. Yes, I was there. I was there. I think that was one of the first times I talked on this server, actually. At least among the first few times. Yeah, this is the one.
Is this the one?
I think so.
Yeah, here we
I
go.
saw the.
Yeah, in every one of these arguments,
Yeah.
people seem, yeah, okay. This is like, I refined everything really well, right? Like any argument against, like you could see what people mean by death, right? I mean, it's not really valid concept, right? And like the whole error with it and everything, right? You can see it very, very clearly in this whole discussion here. If you want to learn more about that, it's not really like the basis, like the basic like inklings of it is in the notes in the H thread there, right? But it's more like it was more refined after we started arguing more about it, and I argued about it too in Zulu server. You can find some stuff about that, probably just searching like death, from me, right?
If I remember right, my messages in that one, I was mostly trying to ask them, like, get them to point out to me where this death
Yeah, I
is.
mean it makes total
right?
sense.
Like,
I
them,
mean,
where do I look in order to find this death? And they're unable to do it.
Yeah, but luckily we had those arguments, because then now we can identify, right? Like this, like I did here at the
Yeah.
end, right? Like in every one of these arguments, they always hop back and forth between the same two notions of death, right? And we really got down like how to combat, their arguments, like any arguments you'll face regarding this.
So the same
Yeah,
trend
'cause,
has persisted in any other discussion I've had on this topic as well.
Right?
oh yeah, that was another thing because
And actually, I
Stratino,
pretty
'cause
much
I'm
noticed
guessing.
that someone.
So what is sentience?
I don't know.
What does it mean to be like living?
Bro.
Sorry if
Read
that's
one.
offended as well.
Read those papers that I told you to read first, bro. Read these papers right here. Read these,
All right.
and then we can talk about it. And you might want to read this one too.
I knew that was coming.
Read the papers, man.
on intelligence from first principles.
All right. Need to download this. Okay.
I mean, bro, you know, if you read it, then we have something substantial to discuss, you know? Because I can go really into it, you know? Like you see, like, these discussions we had, like, just on the death stuff, right? Or the hostage stuff, right? Elaborating on, you know, once they read, like, the fucking notes, right? We elaborated on it, and then we refined it through discussing about it, right? Hey, you
Yeah,
get what I'm saying?
cause yeah, I guess I probably should learn a little bit more, cause I was talking with
Because then we could discuss about it, and then like, even if you don't understand it at first, then we would refine our, you know, understanding through
yeah, cause I was
discussing it.
talking with like the thing I want to do, man, is I want, like, I don't know if I could, like, straight up do all the explanation to people. Like, I don't know if I could, like, straight up teach people on my
That's why we
own.
have to discuss it, bro. If we discuss it
Yeah,
more, like we did
and
with this
just
death
like,
thing, right? Now it's easy. Now it's easy to explain. Super easy to
yeah,
explain.
and
I
it's just
mean,
like if
peg
I could
over it,
get
right?
like a platform
Like
where I could
you
get
get what I'm
people
saying, peg,
on.
right? Like you
Yeah,
know, it's
yeah,
super easy
yeah.
to explain
I
for you
know,
now,
I know.
right? So I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah,
if
it is.
if we discuss it more, like the ecological stuff, you know, then it would be easier to explain, bro. You know, just like this.
Yeah, I figured since I'm like relatively new, I would just like have a platform where I could just have people who've already studied all that shit and just have them like talk about whatever they want to talk about and have like a discussion about it, and that would like
Well, yeah, a
give
discussion
people
about
like,
what, you know?
well, I mean, that's the
we
thing, is like it would be like a specific thing. So like with you, I could have you on and like you just like we would talk about different things in ecological psychology. Like you could
right.
basically explain the basics to people who maybe don't quite understand it.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I just, like, man, I'm kind of tired of, like, having to, you know, build this whole context every single time I want to talk about anything, and then I never really get to go as deep as I want, you know? And that kind of frustrates me, right?
I mean, and that's the
But
glory about just writing
I
things
get
down
that
and
a
going
lot.
through them
Again.
again.
and that's
Is
what I
like,
do. I write things down, right? I write it all down. But, you know, I want, like, I got this community, I got this server, this one, like, it's really the whole purpose of the book clubs, right? Why I wanted to do them in the first place, right? Uh, so we can start discussing it, and then, like, it'd be a lot easier for everybody else to grasp it, and then start explaining it to other people, and then, you know, it'd be, like, a lot easier for everybody, you know, to, like, start, you know, getting into it, you know?
yeah, and the most important part is being able to explain the essence of it. It's like the essence of objectivism is, well, yeah, existence is the primary. Existence becomes before everything else. And that's like the essence of objectivism. And it's like, what is the essence of ecological psychology then?
Oh, well, I mean, it's basically trying to, like, it's seeking, you know, the physics and mathematics that's appropriate to the facts of psychology, rather than, you know, trying to say, like, the facts of psychology are, like, unreal, right? Or, like, at best, like, an illusion, right? Belying some, you know, fundamental, really, like, true reality, you know? that, like, that doesn't at all account for the facts of psychology. Where the facts of psychology is absent, where there's no life at all, you know? It's just totally, like, a void, a world void of like life and consciousness and, like, perception, action, and, like, complexity, all these, like, essential things, right?
Yeah. And it's like if you have a basic explanation, it's like I mean, I guess it's just like whenever you're explaining things, you're always trying to, I guess, capture the essence of the thing that you're trying to explain. It's like you're always trying to
Yeah,
capture
that's
the essence.
ecological psychology. The ecological approach in general is a bit broader, you know? It's like applying that, like, it's just because it is more general, you know? The like trying to find the physics and mathematics appropriate to the facts of psychology, you're going to, you know, bring in some more general principles to do that.
Hmm.
For my part, whenever I'm forced to summarize, like extremely briefly, what do I mean by ecological psychology? I usually say that is the science of the organism environment system. That's usually what I end up
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
It's close. You know, it's close.
I
I
find that
mean, yeah,
it
like
gets people it gets
the
people
organism,
asking what does that mean, you know?
yeah, the
Like
organism
it
environment
starts the
system
discussion.
is the primary unit of analysis. You always see that.
Yeah,
You always see them,
yeah,
like the eco psych people. They'll say that a bunch. But
yeah, exactly. That's what I
I would
say for
rather
that reason.
define it the way I did. You know.
Yeah, I get that. Just usually in the context where I have to explain it, I don't even have that much of someone's attention span.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you were trying to understand, you know,
Have to
the you
capture
know,
the
like ecological psychology is like a body of research, you know,
yeah,
like an ongoing, you know, field of research, right? That's how you would understand it. If you're going to read anything like from, you know, yeah, like from the experimental people, you know, who are doing all these, you know, trying to explain all this stuff, you know, and using ecopsych principles to explain a bunch of things and apply it to like a bunch of different stuff like rehabilitation and like you know, like in chapter 13 of Intro to Ecopsych, they talk all about that, like how ecopsych has been
yeah,
applied to
yeah,
a bunch of different areas. But
yeah.
like if you're
I've
trying to
basically
understand
been
any of
trying
that,
to
if you're trying to understand any of that, yeah, I mean, ecopsych is we're seeking like the physics and mathematics appropriate to the fact of psychology, and it's like it's an empirical task, you know.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I'm not saying it's like gonna be easy, because I know that, like, I mean, most sciences do touch on a lot of points, right? And it's like psychology
Did
is
you see
definitely a very large
in here?
science.
I posted a chat GBT like the other day, like for people to use, you know, to like get some of the basics down of like ecological physics, ecological optics. Where is
I
it?
think so.
Yeah, here we go. Chat GBT. This one in the EA workshops thread. You can like ask it a bunch of stuff, you know, and like dive deeper in some of the basics using that. So maybe that could help, you know.
We'll see. I'll probably read those lectures and then I'll get back to you.
What lectures? The lectures.
The ones that you wanted to do for this
Yeah,
event.
yeah. This this was this was meant to help with that. I mean, this helps
Oh.
with these lectures. Yeah, it should really help with these lectures.
Oh yeah, there was speaking of physics, there was I guess w- what's the name of the guy that Zulu said was like good Inductica?
Yeah.
He's wrong.
Yeah. Because he says there's an aether, which I've always, because the ether, I've always taken that to mean like a spirit realm, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could just discount all of that stuff. He's not an actual like physicist. I mean, he's just trying to. He's trying to be a rationalist, really. Like, I mean, a lot of it. He says a lot of cool stuff about epistemology. I think is really good. But like, when it comes to like what he says about physics, really, I think is like he's like going down the wrong path because he hasn't done enough work in epistemology. He's asking the right questions in epistemology, not in physics, but in epistemology. So he needs to do more work there. And I think I mean I've done the work that he hasn't, and I can see where he's wrong.
Because I don't know what
Like
is,
in his older videos, I mean, in his older videos, he has some good
oh,
epistemology
right, yeah.
videos.
Because, yeah, I don't know what Inductica's, like, theory for aether is. I don't even know what... Because I'm assuming that means
And just
right?
like I would just discount it, bro. He's being a reductionist, you know. He's trying to like just say, "Oh, what is if light is a wave? What is waving?" You know. Right. I've talked about this before. It's just, I mean, it's pretty dumb.
Hmm. I guess I could look into that, because apparently Zulu believes in it now. He believes there's an aether.
Oh yeah, that just shows how much Zulu is a rationalist because you just fucking he just uh, he just adopts shit like unthinkingly, you know. So
He
much,
adopted
bro.
that truism, which is not even true.
Yeah, truisms, bro. That's exactly what it is. I mean, obviously, if he's adopting truisms, you know, I don't expect him to, you know, account for the problem of truism, and he's just going to, you know, like create more, like spread more truism, you know.
So, yeah, I know that you were... Like, he was trying to make you the guy... I mean, maybe this still is the case. He was trying to make you the guy who's, like...
Me?
Yeah, like, the psychologist who, like, agrees with all the shit that he's trying to say. To, like, get, like, professionals to agree with him on this shit that, like, no professional is ever going to agree with. Like, most psychologists are not going to fucking agree with any epistemology shit.
What are you talking about?
Dude,
Where are
you
you
said
getting
it.
this
It might
from?
have been Stratino, but it's like...
What?
So-
Wait, where are you getting? Like, explain, bro. Back up.
Okay,
Where are you
so-
getting this from?
So, okay. So, like, objectivism and all of that is, like, very outside of, like, the contemporary...
Where are you getting this notion that I'm fucking like Zulu wanted to use me to be like a fucking
Okay, maybe
like
use the wrong word. But, like,
authority
he
on
wanted
psychology?
Well, yeah, he wanted to get an authority on psychology to agree with him.
But yeah, where are you getting that from? I've never. This is the first time I'm hearing that. Oh shit! 1 second. 1 second. I accidentally unplugged my computer. Okay, now I can hear you. What the hell? Esteeming evil and legal, not what they deserve. I just got a YouTube comment reply. Nah, wasn't to me. Yo. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you. So wait, what were you saying when I cut out?
I'm trying to look for who said this.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's the first time I'm hearing about that.
Like, I don't think it's for I don't think Zulu's doing it for bad reasons. I'm trying to see.
I've just never heard that before.
I literally don't know if it was Shortino. I'm doubting myself. Dude, who the fuck said this? Why can't I search anything up? Is it because I have streamer mode on? Let's disable that. There we go. His name is, yeah. Shit. Forgot his name is Greta Garbo. I don't know, maybe I'm being schizophrenic. I could have sworn somebody said this to me. Yeah, dude. I was so shocked whenever because I think I was asking questions in this Discord server, and then Tritino was like, yeah, bro, I was there since day one. Like, ask me anything, man. I was like, what the fuck?
And he said a bunch of shit about me.
No.
I mean, like, talk shit about me.
No, nobody's talking shit about you, G. Don't worry.
I said I don't mean that, bro. Maybe it was in like a VC, bro.
I don't think it was, but I don't know. But yeah, because I can't remember. Somebody said that like not a lot of professionals agree with the ecological method and objectivism, and so there needs to be kind of like a person who is like a professional who can be like, oh yeah, I agree with this, and I think you are supposed to be that guy, but maybe I'm just an idiot.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro. To be honest, I've never heard this shit. Maybe it's because I said I'm like I'm like really like going to school for that, like sort of.
Yeah. It could have been that you were going to school for that.
But yeah, bro, I'm pretty hungry, so I
Wanna
think I'm
head
gonna go
out?
get some. Yeah,
Ooh.
I mean, nothing really
Should I
else to
get
talk
my-
about.
Oh, by the way, G, I should tell you about this as well, to mention it. But at university, I used one of your quotes on my teacher.
Nice.
Which one was it?
It was like a metaphor you said about genes, the river and the rock. You remember that one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What happened was that this teacher was lecturing us about, there was this digital marketing stuff. But then she suddenly brought up genes. She started saying how, oh, it's in our genes, how we're pack animals and everything. And I tend to wear my opinions on my face, so to speak. So she saw me making like, well, some kind of face. She actually singled me out, like, "Hey, do you disagree with this?"
She said that.
Yes, she did. She like actually singled me out
What did you
for
say?
making faces at her. So I said, "Yes, I do. The genes don't do anything." I straight up just led with that. And she was straight to, well, but they do, and blah blah blah. But so I saw obviously, okay, well, we can't have like a proper discussion, but I can just drop this metaphor that I got from you. So yeah, I told it to her. She was actually pretty impressed by it.
Like, how did you say it?
No, she was just like, huh, I never thought about it like that before.
Like, how did you, like, make it relevant?
Oh, I don't
Like, how did?
remember exactly the conversation anymore, but
Like, obviously, you need to like tie it to like the fucking what you're
yeah,
talking
yeah, yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, how you did that for her to get it.
Yeah, I don't remember the whole conversation anymore, but
She
I more
politely
remember.
told you.
I
I
more
mean, just
remember
like just like
after the
around the metaphor, like the context of that.
I think what I mostly remember is that just because, like I said, I immediately led with the fact that I don't think the genes really do anything like relevant to this. And, I think she kind of thought that the conversation wouldn't really go anywhere. So I could see that she was like trying to disengage like immediately. But I kind of knew that in that case, I need to put across what do I mean by the fact that they don't do anything? What do I mean by it? So that's why I like told the metaphor. I like stopped her from like hang on, let me illustrate to you what do I mean by the fact that the gene doesn't do anything. So I just used the river metaphor so that
Oh,
she would
dude,
get that
that
like it's not the
that is
fact that
actually
the
precisely.
the gene does something.
Yeah, that's another thing a lot of people believe is
Oh
that
yeah, yeah.
genes
So
have
that's
like
how
a
you put
will.
it. It's not the fact that the gene does something, and then you
Yeah,
like
yeah, exactly. That's
like
how I put it.
try and say it how you said it, bro. Like how you put the metaphor.
Hmm.
Well, it's a little difficult because keep in mind it was in Finnish as well. So
Can you do it? I mean, do you think you can do it?
he politely told you you're retarded. Oh dear. Oh, but actually, but this is what I really wanted to talk about. Actually, you reminded me. But after the lecture, after the lecture, one of the people from my class came to me about the metaphor that I told, and he was super interested about it.
Nice.
So I actually talked with him a little bit more.
We love to
Actually,
see
yeah,
it.
very cool. It was
Love to
very
see
Wait,
worth.
you wanna like talk about that? I mean, cause I want to hear it. I definitely want to hear about it.
Well, I can try to. It was a very brief conversation, mainly because we were all hungry, so we wanted to go to lunch. But either way, can I remember anything specific about it though? That's the question. You can never remember conversations after they happen.
I talked with my friend about affordances once. I was like, you can stoke a fire with a hammer if you only have a hammer.
Yeah, I don't know. I have yet to talk to somebody about that kind of stuff. I mean,
Yeah, I don't really talk about it.
I talk about it all the
most
time.
people don't care.
I talk
But
about it all.
you can't recall anything from that conversation, bro.
Not really, no.
Come on,
Damn.
bro.
Think really hard.
No, I don't really usually recall a conversation. I kind of remember like
Like, just think about not the conversation, but what you were talking about.
talking about. Okay. Let's see. I do remember that I expanded on it somehow.
What you were talking about, bro. That's how I usually remember. Like, best like way to remember conversations, right? Because you don't want to try and remember like the words. You want to remember what
I
they're
know.
what they're referring to.
But yeah, I had
No, I
spoken
don't.
to a guy. I had spoken to a guy who simultaneously believed in free will, but also believed in like Darwinism. So yeah, a lot of people believe that genes can do things, or that like they influence us in any way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do.
I'm still interested how you put that metaphor, like what the reaction was, bro. Because like, wait, yeah, that's like a good start. You said like it's not that the genes do anything, and then how do you lead in, then you lead like what directly into the metaphor.
I think so.
Like it's like is or you're saying it like I said it, like it's the most inert. It's really the most inert
Yeah,
component, right?
yes, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Thank you. Yes. That was it. That was what I said. Yes. Now I remember instantly.
Right? No, you got it, bro. What did you
Sleeper
say?
cell
Yes.
activated.
Yeah.
What did you,
That was what I talked about with the classmate. That's what I elaborated on. I elaborate on the fact that it's like it's on purpose, like quote unquote causes things the least, right?
right? So it's easy to
It's
replicate.
like yeah, exactly. Exactly what I said. That the whole point is that it has to be something that's as inert as possible, so that it's also as easy to replicate as possible. That's why they're transferred, right? And I also pointed out that like you can find them in things like fossils, right? Even millions and millions of years later, they're not doing anything, are they?
Like you can replicate it out of a bunch of different, like you know, it's independent of context, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just like any part like of the system could just like put something together to make it right to make this like inert little part, right?
Yeah.
It's like, but it's like the same. You know what I mean? As this other, like you can replicate it, right? Like with and like what it's made of is really like irrelevant. You know what I mean? Like I can write the letter S like in many different ways on many different media, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like you don't have to reproduce the entire, uh dynamics, right? Every single time, right? To in order to create like in order to create another, uh rate independent constraint, which is what it is.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to, make a whole nother
I think
organism from scratch.
I think I went next more into
Oh, shit.
how it would like if the genes actually like this directly like cause things, such as what the lecturer was saying. It would obviously have to be like that much more costly to
Exactly,
replicate.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the direction where I continue.
Yeah, you were there, right? For lecture 19?
Lecture 19? No, I wasn't.
Because I talked about that more in lecture 19.
Okay, I wasn't here now.
Maybe
I just
I also talked about that in an earlier lecture. Or
well,
maybe it was
it's just
in
something that well, number one, you've talked about on the server in general, and number two, I've read about. So
Oh yeah, because I would reference a lot of stuff about it.
yeah, so I didn't get it from this lecture BC specifically.
like Swenson's paper, right?
But
The robust the robust ecological physics paper. You know what I'm talking
yeah,
about? You read that one?
yeah, I think I read like parts of that one.
Yeah, where he's like, uh, it's either you either have rate independence or you uh don't, right? You have rate dependence. You can't have both, right? You
Yeah,
can't have your cake and eat it too.
yeah, it's I really like that point. I like it a lot. It really makes it clear that that's exactly what they're claiming that genes do. They're having their cake and they're eating. And you can't have it.
Yeah, and Swenson explains in his other papers, like the 2025 paper and the 2024 paper. Like it's in one of the later sections where he talks about that. Where it's like they're trying to smuggle in, agency, like exactly like precisely where you can't have it. The one place you just can't have it.
But also just a place where well it isn't.
That is,
Yeah,
that
exactly.
actually is like exactly.
There is no agency observable there at
In
all.
these
Dude, you
papers right
argue with
here,
Darwinists, like, dude, you
in
argue with
these papers right
Darwinists,
here,
and
he
it's
talks
like
about that
the
in the later sections, but also in like I put here. There's Swenson. No, not those. One of these was Swenson's papers, like all of his papers. There's a you just search through them for like rate independence, right? Rate independent, uh, or symbolic constraint, right? Search through that for that, through Swenson's work. Which one is Swenson's, bro? I think it's this one. This is Swenson's, right here, right above it. Yeah. But he talks all about that.
I'm still looking for my chance in school to drop all the stuff about the brain on them. Still looking for the chance, but I haven't
What are
gotten
you
one
gonna
yet.
say?
Well, I don't know yet, but there's no good. because they make us like listen sometimes to these talks, from like business people, because I'm in business
Yeah.
school, and so many times, for some reason, these business people, they just really, really love to like,
Like
in the middle of their talk, just bring
appeal
up
to
some
bad
absolute
psychology.
random psychology that's
Bad
complete
psychology. Yeah.
nonsense. Yeah, like they just love doing it. Yeah.
You won't hear an Austrian ever do that.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like praxeology and psychology. They're kind of different.
But yeah, they're definitely different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always funny because a lot of the time it's just for no reason. Sometimes they're like actually talking like, okay, that's true, and then all of a sudden just random psychology bullcrap. It's
I
like
think that's kind of the
it's
reason why they do
they
it.
think they
Is
think that by just bringing this random crap up, they're like making themselves more believable or something. I don't
yeah.
know.
I mean, dude, all you have to do is
But
bring
it's
up
very
prax,
obvious
man.
that they just
Just talk about prax,
it's
and then
also they're also
yeah.
talking about some like very, very old ideas as well. They're not like recent ideas either.
Oh, jeez.
So it's like very obvious that they just don't know what they're talking about. So I'm always wondering, why are you trying to talk about this?
Yeah, I think
You obviously don't know anything.
business classes would benefit a ton from praxeology. A ton.
Yes, bro. Yeah.
Hey, Rothbard has lectures on this, like how what's it called? Finance, right? That's the field. It's not economics, right? But what finance can learn from Austrian economics.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, he does.
what what's important there.
Well, I should read that or whatever, or listen or whatever.
I'll be
Yeah.
right back. I gotta use the bathroom real quick.
Like for investors or whatever. I forget the title of it.
I'll look it up.
In search of now Rothbard.
Okay.
Finance.
It's also funny. My communications teacher as well, because well, for her, I understand why she talks about this. Pretty much what she's supposed to talk about. But I know this. She's talking about communication from this like very, very poor psychology point of view. I don't really mind that though, because it kind of gave me a chance to be very cheeky. Because pretty much all the assignments for that course I literally wrote from like something ecological, either implicitly or I actually, in some cases, made it explicit.
Here we go.
Because there were some assignments where she wanted us to source things. So I was just, okay, let me source Gibson.
What? What were you saying?
Well, I was just saying on my communications course, the teacher's always lecturing us about from like a very, very poor psychology standpoint. And then she gives us assignments from it. And then I'm just returning the assignments from the ecological approach instead of whatever the hell she was saying.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, hold up. All right, whoever was asking me about the finance thing from Rothbard, I put it in the vids channel
Oh,
in my server. The lecture.
let me save that. There we go. Now I'll remember to listen to it.
So yeah. Yeah, what were you saying? You were saying that you have already like cited Gibson and like
Yeah, I
brought up
did.
and
I
like
did multiple times. But
like are these like assignments? You know,
yeah, school
like
assignment.
essays you had to write?
Yeah.
Yo, you should post them, bro. Make a thread and post them.
I could. I'd have to translate them to English though.
You can just run it through Google Translate.
They are obviously in Finnish, but yeah, I could.
Google Translate does. It
I
translates
also,
whole,
I
whole
also,
PDF.
I also held a presentation about the ecological approach. A little bit.
Really?
Yes.
Was it recorded?
No. It was like, because at the end of that particular course, she wanted us to do an assignment, something related
Did you
to
have a script?
communication. And I decided to be a little bit cheeky. So I took
Communication,
from
right?
the
So,
ecological approach, I tried to solve a problem that her own teaching has.
really?
Yeah.
Wait, so what do you mean communication? Like the class, what do you like what is it about? 'Cause there's a lot of like
It's like workplace communication, like how do you communicate
okay.
with people, that kind of thing. So,
So how did
I
you
had my
did you
group.
do any research on that? Because like there's probably some stuff about that from the ecological psychology perspective, you know?
Yeah, yeah. My, it was like a group presentation as well, so I had to get two other people to do it with me. It was very interesting. Obviously, that I had to then make it so that they're also able to present it, so I couldn't just babble theory, you know.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I want to hear more about this. I want to hear all about this, bro. Tell me everything you've done.
Well, that particular presentation. So, the idea was because I noticed that, well, this happens with a lot of the teachers, but in particular with that teacher, you
Wait,
know how a lot of times
hold up,
these
hold up.
lecturers.
Let me join back on my phone. The
Okay.
VC. Let me join back on my phone.
Oh man.
You.
What's good?
All right, bro.
You're good.
Yeah, let's hear about this shit, bro. I mean, I don't talk really about, I just haven't really gotten any chance. I guess I talk a little bit about it when I talk about what I'm gonna
Yeah,
do,
I try to take
what I'm
every
going,
single chance I get.
just like what I'm going to school for, right? Just like saying like, oh yeah, I'm going to school for this stuff, you know. And
Yeah,
and like when somebody assumes like, oh, when I'm talking about psychology, I'm talking about like brain stuff or whatever. You know, I'm like, no, 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 it's not. It's like it's totally like a different like approach. You know.
yeah, yeah. I had that exact same assumption already, also previously. Yeah, because
What do you mean about ecological psychology or like about psychology?
yeah, about psychology. Because
I mean, I think most people just have the assumption that psychology is like talk psychology. You know,
yeah, exactly.
like talk like therapy. You know,
Yeah, and no, if they don't assume that, then they assume that
rather than
like
perception science.
it's talking about something like some kind of inner crap, you know.
Yeah, rather
It's
than
one of those
perception
two.
science, right? Like the science of behavior. Literally, that's what
Exactly.
psychology is.
Holy shit, Eddie's back.
You,
Hey, Eddie.
Hello, Mike.
yeah,
Sorry.
psychology, just like in general, is just the science of behavior, right? I mean, like it has a very like deep like history. It's not a very long history though. We have only very recently developed the language even to speak about like the facts of psychology even a little bit. You know.
Yeah,
And like Gibson, pushed that forward like a great deal.
yeah. Anyway, the presentation that I was gonna tell about. Yeah, so
Right.
the problem that I noticed was that the teachers are all the time asking in the middle of the lectures, like, "Do you have any questions?" or something of the sort. And every single time, nobody answers. And it's also very obvious that the teacher does want people to ask things,
Mhm.
but still nobody does. and it's very clear. And they like kind of assume that nobody asks because, well, nobody asks anything, or nobody knows what to ask.
No one's interested.
But I very much disagree with that idea. I would say that nobody asks because the teacher saying or asking whether there are any questions is not actually like making the affordance visible enough to like act on it.
Yeah.
And that's basically what I made the presentation about. I was arguing to the teacher that she needs to like do it entirely differently
Okay.
if she wants to get any questions, because otherwise she's gonna continue to not get any questions.
And what did you say? Like, what did you argue?
Hang on, actually. I'm gonna try to whip up my notes and the presentation things.
Can't remember if there was anything else I wanted to ask.
All right, here we go. Yeah.
I'm gonna cook up some food.
So one of the things that I said was that one reason why people don't see the affordance that they can actually ask the questions is because a very large group of people that you don't know around you, it's not an environment or a situation that affords that kind of behavior to just spontaneously ask something, even though you're prompted to. So for that reason, one of the things I suggested was that she should make the question asking like integrate it as an actual part of the lecture. One of the ways she could do that
Did you read my notes on this?
is by having people. What notes?
Did you read my notes on this?
What notes?
Like in my Obsidian vault?
No, I didn't look it up. Why?
Because like this is basically how like I'm writing my whole like book or like project or whatever on the
Yeah.
philosophy of science, right? Like, and
Yeah.
it's all about asking the right questions, you know, like a lot of people, you know, I mean, people aren't taught to ask questions, you know, to really
Yeah.
ask the right, you know what I mean? And I really
Yeah.
like it's all about that.
Oh
So
yeah.
I was just
I
wondering if you looked at like my notes on that because I had a lot of notes on that. Like
Mhm.
in
Well,
the
I'll
in
have to
like
look it up now.
yeah.
I will look it up now, but I have not looked at that. That's interesting. I
Yeah.
definitely agree with that, and I keep noticing that.
Yeah, and it's like
That's one
it's
of the
like
things
the
I
whole
talked
like
about a little bit as
theme.
well.
It's like the whole theme of my like project. I'm trying to integrate it really like right like into it, like just like uh you know like the questions, you know, like that the reader or whatever is asking is like the whole like driving force of everything.
Yeah,
You know?
that's a really good thing to pick because I keep seeing it everywhere. And, like the thing with these quote unquote traditional approaches is that they don't generate questions.
Right.
As they don't generate questions, they don't generate solutions.
It's because they don't have philosophy, bro.
Yeah.
Philosophy
Like
originally
all
was
the stuff.
literally like the
British.
like questions about you know like
Yeah.
and I talk all about that, right? Like the importance of philosophy, and I integrate it all like really, really well. You know, like who philosophy, who needs it type stuff. You know.